Jesus said, "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace but a sword." Just look at how cruel this Jesus of the Bible is. Exactly. Jesus is a wicked man who brought nothing but a sword to this world. You actually need to keep reading a bit further into this Bible passage. The word sword here isn't a call to violence at all. It's talking about division between people. Jesus makes this incredibly clear in the very next verse. For I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Matthew 10:35. And when Luke writes about the exact same thing, he puts it the same way. Do you think I came to bring peace on earth? No, I tell you but division. Luke 12:51. Look, you don't need a deep degree in Jewish history or Old Testament, and you definitely don't need to be a profound Bible scholar to see that Jesus is talking about the division that happens inside families because of him and the true faith. We have to realize that the truth doesn't always automatically bring everyone together. When you stand up for what's true, it's completely natural that people are going to oppose it. The actual Greek word used here for division literally means to split apart or cut into pieces. You don't need a deep understanding of Judaism or Old Testament to see that Jesus is talking about causing a rift right down the middle of families. Jesus is giving a very clear reality check here. He is pointing out that once you accept his message and embrace the Christian faith, it's not going to be a bed of roses. We have to realize that the truth doesn't always automatically bring everyone together. When you stand up for what's true, it's completely natural that people are going to oppose it. Before truth wins the ultimate victory, a clash with those who reject it is bound to happen. Jesus is reminding us of the heavy price tag that comes with discipleship. He is actually correcting the overly optimistic expectation, what theologians call an optimistic eschatology, that people had back then. They assumed the kingdom of God would just drop out of the sky all at once, instantly filling the world with nothing but peace and love. But Jesus taught them the hard truth: there is no salvation without tribulation, and there is no resurrection without a cross. Before the final restoration can happen, this world has to go through a process of division and purification. This was the exact harsh reality for the early Christians who took up the faith and ended up facing brutal persecution. A man's enemies will be the members of his own household. Matthew 10:36. When Jesus calls, some people will accept it and others will reject it. And that choice is exactly what brings division into this world. This is the most basic, direct, and straightforward meaning of the text. Anyone reading it can see that clearly. But here is the thing: whenever Jesus teaches, he usually points right back to the Old Testament. For a Jewish person back then, these words weren't something brand new. In their holy scriptures, the prophet Micah had already said this way ahead of time in chapter 7, verse 6. The son treats the father with contempt. The daughter rises up against her mother. The daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house. Micah 7:6. This prophecy from Micah is exactly what being fulfilled here through Jesus. Jesus is basically saying, don't think I have come to bring comfortable peace. I have come to bring the exact division that the prophet Micah prophesied about. Micah chapter 7 is all about the coming era of salvation, but the prophets made it clear over and over again that before this salvation actually begins, a massive period of tribulation, intense testing, and major internal division would break out within Israel. The Greek word often used to describe this time of testing is parasmos. In fact, in the Our Father prayer, when we say, lead us not into temptation, that's the exact same Greek word being used. We are praying not to be led into parasmos. It specifically points to the final intense period of trial and tribulation that happens right before the resurrection of the dead and the final judgment. So, the prophets fully expected that tribulation had to come before salvation and division had to happen before true restoration. What Jesus and the gospel writers are really reminding us here is that when you choose the Christian faith and stand up for truth, you have got to walk in knowing that even your own family might turn against you. When Jesus talks about five people in a house being split up, three against two and two against three, he is painting a vivid picture of a deep clash between those who welcome his message and those who push it away. This verse is a powerful reminder that deciding to follow Jesus can carry a massive price tag inside your own home, turning into the biggest trial of your entire life. So, when people ask why the one who came to bring peace ended up bringing division, here is the answer. The only way to reach that ultimate everlasting peace on the other side of division is by going through the cross.